Welcome to my short journey into Palworld. I named my world the only fitting title I could think of, and then got greeted with this beautiful character creation menu. I needed someone strong and menacing, but soft and gentle on the inside. Yep, that's about right. With that out of the way, it was time to begin. Upon waking up, I got greeted by my future slaves and the area that I was destined to conquer, Windswept Hills. I talked to the local woman who gave me wood and warned me about the dangerous pals out there in the wild. I don't blame her for being scared, but I am a man who stands on business, so fear was not an option for me. I used my tech points to unlock the entirety of tier 2 items and then saw my first victim. I squared up with it, letting it know what's about to happen, and then proceeded to beat the absolute living shit out of this pal. Yes, I did feel bad. God only knows the pain it felt when these cannons locked on and fired onto his body. I created my first crafting bench near the recently departed and crafted a pickaxe as well as a wooden club. A Lamball tried to avenge his fallen comrade, but missed horribly and instead joined him in the afterlife. I saw a Cativa running around for no reason, so I gave it a reason by chasing it with violent intentions. It survived 2 swings, but it's like they always say, third time's the charm. I wanted to test out this this pal sphere I had, so this chicken should consider itself pretty damn lucky that it didn't get the opportunity to meet God. I found this nice little open area right near spawn that I decided to use as my first base. I put my cute little chicken nugget immediately to work and then wasted no time in trying to upgrade my attack as much as possible. I had a huge empty space to do whatever I wanted with, and I had visions of how sexy I wanted this place to look. Mansions, beautiful crops, tools, weapons, my god. I couldn't wait to get all of that done. But for that, I needed an extraordinary amount of resources and manpower. I captured another rotisserie chicken, and then I saw something. Now, people call me an ambitious man, and some may say that this ambition may sometimes lead to my downfall. You see, this big mammarist got near my camp, and boy howdy, I knew I could use something like that to help me around here. I had to kidnap it. Yeah, he was big, but come on. Look at these arms. I went for my first swing, and that's it. I could not do anything else. It did not take long for him to fold me like a lawn chair. It pains me to know I was weaker than a mere 10,000-pound elephant, but I used this pain as fuel to push myself further into becoming the king of these lands. With an axe now created, I spent the day just gathering wood and stone and created a chest, a bed, and a campfire. I celebrated by making myself some tasty lamball kebab. With that food now warming up my tummy, it was getting dark, so I decided to go to bed. Well, if I can't sleep, then why the hell should this guy? As long as my pals listen to my every command without question, they will be treated with the respect of a minimum wage worker. I wanted to catch another one of these pink cats because they do a lot more work than my chicken breast, but when I tried to capture one, the one I already owned threw hands and killed it. I wasn't mad because I knew that if anything happened to me, my boy had my back. Also because I ended up catching one later anyways. Or 2. Maybe even a lamball. Or 2. I went on a kidnapping spree. I went on this spree only to replace my drumsticks because, my god. It's so sad they do nothing. I upgraded my base to level 2 and started building this beautiful mansion. Just like I pictured it. I built a nice little fruit basket for my workers to have full bellies, but in reality it was just so that they had unlimited energy to keep working for me. I only fed them berries, which by the way they themselves had to grow using this berry field. So if they wanted to eat, well, they better damn work for it. Don't think I'm helping right now. No. I'm just showing them how it's done. After a nice peaceful day, I went to bed and started working on these little tutorial challenges I had to get done. Beating these pals to near death just to capture them in the end was something I wholeheartedly disagreed with. But I just kept lying to myself, telling myself that I was just saving them from the dangers of the wild. Let's just ignore the fact that up until this point, these animals basically all lived in peace and tranquility. Well, if I'm going to be out and about, I can't be walking around with my cock dangling back and forth, now can I? Me and my boy crafted some new clothing, and with that came a shield to make sure I was extra protected. I built a ranch, and man, seeing my team work with me here is enough to bring a tear down my face. I was not alone. I had 24-hour workers at a pay rate of $3.99. Now, as much as I love using the club, it isn't menacing enough. I instead built a very sharp spear and a bow with some arrows. Pablo the penguin seemed very peaceful, minding his own business, and I just couldn't let that slide. His family members saw the atrocity I tried to commit and attempted to help. Pablo and his twin were not making this easy. I tried to lower his health low enough for me to capture him, but I instead dented his head. Thankfully, the other penguin wasn't as stubborn. I saw the giant mammarist, and man, I wanted to get my revenge so badly, but I knew he would just mop the floor with me, so I instead left to attack the defenseless. This poor soon-to-become worker was a premise. Who cares? Point is, it's mine. I unlocked another fast travel spot that was nearby, which was a blessing since my legs had no strength. My build was purely arms, which meant my stamina was that of an asthmatic. Anywho, I bullied the yellow semen plant, captured another pink cat, and then got into a ferocious battle with a alpaca. It fought as hard as it could to stay alive, but it could not keep up with my ultra-fast reflexes. Its greatest downfall was underestimating me, and for that, I shoved it into a sphere. It went from seeing this beautiful landscape every day to now being brainwashed to listen to my every command inside of this dark, empty void that we call a sphere. It was getting dark and I had no light, so I decided to go back home. If I didn't get to have a light, neither did this pal, so I stole him also. If there's one thing that sucks in Palworld, it's the nighttime. Either my monitor settings were set to garbage, or this game's nighttime is absolutely it's like the moon shined as bright as an iPhone flashlight. Thankfully, this beautiful pal called the Daydream was illuminating the dark with her spectacular hair. I stole her. I saw an owl. Owl walk. Owl happy. Owl no longer walks. This pink cat seemed comfortable sleeping, so I made sure it slept for an eternity. I finally made it back to my base where I decided to manage my workers. The sun was finally rising, and I saw another owl. Before I could capture it fully, he got absolutely ganged on, violated to the utmost extent of the law. I made sure my pals would never do that again. That was really bad. Anyways, the ranch shit out some wool that I converted into cloth, and that cloth was then converted into a Palworld workbench. With this, I was finally able to create a saddle for my alpaca. I upgraded my base to level 6 and saw that the gooey piss was able to water crops. So goddamn, never judge a book by its cover. This guy turned out to be the most useful pal I have at the moment. I mounted my alpaca and now I felt like the most intimidating man on this island. My workers needed a place to sleep, so I made sure they were all cozy next to each other out in the open. I prayed to this pagan god to enhance my capture power, smacked a corpse, and built a little forest in order for pals to collect wood for me. While I waited for that to get finished, I decided it would be a good time to test out my bow. I fell in love. The power, the accuracy, it was all too good. After my target practice, I came back, and the forest was not done. Can you believe that I actually had to do some manual labor? Me, the boss. I said hell no. I don't pay these pals nothing just for them to sit around all day. I figured that maybe they didn't build it because it was slightly outside the circle, so I replaced it, and there they came. Now that's what I like to hear. Hard workers. Once they were done, I made them make a stone pit in order for me to try and farm some stone. Life was looking good. I made a couple more arrows and rode my pink dog out into the wild to beef with everyone in town. They dropped my health pretty low, not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, I was alive and they weren't. This purple deer looked way too majestic for me not to fight it, so I did. And boy, did he have some tricks up his sleeve. Electricity, a charge. I mean, I knew I had to capture this thing. He charged into me, completely depleting my health down to a micro-sized 5. And I realized I couldn't capture it, so I had no choice but to doink it and rip those antlers off its head. I then went ahead and started to capture all the pals in my vicinity, but man, this darkness was killing me. I built a torch which finally provided me with light, for no reason, because then it was morning. I fried an egg, roasted some deer, hopped on an alpaca, and set off to see what this new day had to offer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.